Hey everyone, welcome to the video, and I'm here with another Minecraft 1.16 random scene glitchless personal best, where I finished with a time of 39 minutes and 44 seconds. As you can see, I spawned in here, and it was actually a island spawn. I was just on an island with pretty much nothing. I never really ran an ocean seed before, but I managed to pull it off, and I even PB'd. I'm happy that I got the sub 40 finally, but I knew if I'd have had more food this run, this would have been a sub 30. 100% this would have been a sub 30 run, which I'll explain why it would have been that once we get to it. But for now, I just mined some wood and just get the basic beginning things done when you start a run. I think I made a wooden axe here actually. Yeah, I made a wooden axe, if I remember. I was also really slow with my crafting this run because this was like one of my first runs of the day. I'd been recording for like 15 minutes before I got this run. And this was the first time I got into the Nether once before, but I pretty much died instantly. You saw it right at the beginning. I died pretty much instantly when I got into the Nether. And This is pretty much my first actual run of the day. So still not really warmed up yet. I make my balls, my doors, and I start looking for a shipwreck. I see the rune portal over here, which I go to because, well, I could get gold armor, I could get flint, maybe just even flint and steel straight off the bat. There's a lot of stuff that you can get from a rune portal. So I made my way over to this. I got some iron armor, the flint. And I think I went over this way because I thought I saw a dolphin, but it seemed like the dolphin had despawned. So I ended up turning back on myself in a second. Yeah, and I end up going this way. After going in this direction for a moment, I start to notice a shipwreck just on the horizon, which I went to, obviously. There was dolphins here as well, which sped up the process. Okay, I get one now. Which just makes it easier for me to move. Dolphins are faster than boats. So it's easier to move with a dolphin than using your boat. And I kind of fuck up trying to get into the shipwreck. The dolphin's grace just makes you slide about a bit, and I'm just not used to it. I get the gold, I get the iron. I go down into the door. Check the map. It's nowhere near me, so I just throw it. And mine some more wood. And now I make my bucket, my flint and steel, and my pickaxe. Now I'm looking on the surface here to see if there's any stone I can mine to get a stone axe and shovel. There isn't any. I end up just going back up to the surface in a second. Yeah, here. And now I'm looking for an ocean ravine. I'm looking for an ocean ravine now so I can make an underground portal. Or an underwater portal. I don't know. I can't remember how long it actually takes me to find a ravine in the end. I think it takes me a second, but not too long. I threw that axe. I'm not too sure why I threw that axe. I should have kept it for now. That was kind of a misplay on my part. But in the end, it didn't really matter too much. So it takes longer to break this boat, but I found my ocean ravine and I'm heading down. ready to build the portal. I misplaced my block there, but it's okay. We fix it. My game lags out a little bit though, which makes it a little bit more awkward. And I think I actually fuck up this first portal. Oh yeah, no, I fuck it up and it takes me a second to fix it. I could have fixed it a lot easier. But I didn't do that. I know as I finished it, I was like, I could have done this a lot easier. I could have removed the water source first, but I didn't. It takes a good minute to do this in the end. Yeah, I could have removed the water and just placed it somewhere else, but I didn't. I eventually did it now, and 6 minutes in, I enter the Nether. Instantly, I'm looking around. I see the basalt deltas, and I'm like, now I can finally make my axe and shovel. I go do that real quick. I make the axe and shovel. And then I start E-raying for the Bastion. E-raying around. There's 2 Bastions near me, and I'm just deciding, I'm trying to figure out which one's closer. I end up going to the one on my left, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Just because I was like, the terrain seems more open. I wasn't able to, I couldn't decide which one was closer just yet. But I also grabbed some mushrooms just for food. And lack of food is the reason why I believe that this run is sub 40 instead of sub 30. If I'd have gotten more food, I really do feel like sub 30 would have been doable. Just because of a huge change in my route that would have happened. Which I ended up not doing just because I didn't have the food to do it. Yeah, I'm just grabbing a bit of food. My brown mushrooms, my red mushrooms. Just gathering them. And just heading in this direction, hoping to find the Bastion soon. And I think in the end, it's not too far away. I think I find it pretty quickly. I accidentally reloaded all my chunks by accident. I'm just trying to E-ray again. Just to see if it's moved in any kind of direction. It's not. It still says it's straight ahead. And I think I noticed it just over this hill, is it? Yeah, I think I grabbed some blocks, climb up this hill, and then I noticed then I see the Bastion. Yep, it should be right here, I feel. I think. Yep, it's just there. I can see it now. It's a treasure bastion. And it actually takes me a second. That lava that is just flowing down there kind of ruined it up a little bit. I needed to wait to try and drain this lava a little bit. Which took me a second. I'm just sat here waiting for the lava to drain. Also kind of messed up the routing a little bit because normally piglins spawn where that lava is, but obviously they aren't there because lava is in the way. So only one piglin ended up getting mad. I thought that block fell. It turns out that piglin picked it up, which wasted the gold block, but it's whatever. I do my normal routing for treasure bastions. Mining this gold block, making a hole. Letting the piglins in. They end up dropping down the hole. And then check chests for obsidian, gold, iron. Just items like that. I got some string in this chest. More obsidian. I got a lot of obsidian. I got really good obsidian luck. Mining all the gold that's around around Bastion. And now I've mined pretty much all the gold around, and I pick up trades. I've got a ton of pearls. I've got 9 obsidian. I get my 10th there, and I'm just waiting on string. I'm just throwing out stuff that I don't really need. I tried to see if there's any string. I got no string, which is really unfortunate, but it's whatever. Anyway, I decided to leave the Bastion. I'm like, I can get wool later once I return to the overworld. I can get sheep before I go into the Stronghold. And it shouldn't matter too much in the end. I also know there can sometimes be a chest here, which I quickly check. There's nothing down. So now I actually leave the Bastion. I realise I'm on the wrong side though, and I turn around in a second after sorting out my inventory. Just throwing out a bunch of random stuff that I have on me. Just lost my bearings a little bit, but now we're back on track. Heading back towards the portal to go to a different quadrant to hopefully find a fortress. I almost fell there, that would have been terrible. And I end up just heading to the quadrant to the right of me because it's the easiest one to get to. I found a ton of brown mushrooms, which is helpful, but there just wasn't many red mushrooms, which is ultimately the reason why this is a sub 40 run, and unfortunately not a sub 30. Anyway, I see the fortress here and I'm like, oh shit. This could be a great run. I'm 15 minutes in, I have my pearls, and I'm at the fortress. I throw a pearl up and go for a block clutch. I get the block clutch, luckily, which saves a good bit of time. I'm able to just block up to the actual fortress. There was a lot of mobs in the fortress. Made it a little bit tricky. And it's mainly the reason why I lost so much food. So I kept on having to regenerate health. I also get really bad luck on the blazes. I get terrible blaze luck this run. I missed that one red mushroom. There's a whole bunch of wither skeletons. And the wither skeletons and normal skeletons, they just keep coming. They don't stop, ever. This blaze ends up going over the lava pool, and I've decided it's just not worth it. And I think at this point I'm like 1 for 4, 1 for 5 with blaze rods. No, I'm 0 for 5. I'm 0 for 4, I think, at this point. At this point, yeah, I'm 0 for 4 on blazers. It's a 50% chance, which is... It's just terrible luck. I make glowstone because I can always use that to explode the dragon with respawn anchors. I find a blaze spawner though, and I finally go 1 for 5 with rods. But my luck doesn't improve. Also, the spawns took forever with the spawner. I got really bad luck with spawners. I hear a blaze nearby, I go up these stairs, I find another blaze. I'm now 2 for 6. Only one spawns here. And it doesn't drop again. 2 for 7. Respawn here, luckily, which really helps out. My potion ran out. I just didn't realize. And at this point, my luck's gone better. I'm 5 for 10 at this point. And another free spawn. And none of those dropped. Meaning I'm now 5 for 13 with rods. I checked down here. There's a few blazes down here. I think most of these drop. Yeah, I think in the end I'm 8 for 16, which is actually average luck. That's pretty average luck. That's It just seemed really bad to me at the time. So yeah, maybe my blaze luck wasn't the worst. There's a lot of skeletons in here guarding this blaze. There was 4 in total. Because I killed those 3 and then there's 1 there, which gave me a little bit of a fright. If I'd have let that one hit me, I'd have definitely lost. I'd have definitely died, and the run would have been over. But now I've got my 8 rods, and I'm able to leave. I'm looking if I had any food. I had nothing left. Oh no, I was looking to see if I had stone to make another axe. That's what I was doing. Now I'm finally able to leave. And it's actually this moment, coming up in like a minute, that changes this run from a sub 30 to a sub 40. Here's the moment that, here's the painful moment, which would have, after rewatching this run back, I've realized it would have cut out 10 minutes. Right here. I decide to blind travel here. If I'd have had more health and food, I'd have thrown my pearl down just in front of me, a bit on the right of me. Which I decided not to do because I only had 2.5 health. I was worried that it might just kill me with the impact of the pearl. But making my portal down there would have ended up putting me 200 blocks away from the Stronghold. Instead of like a good 1,000 I ended up being away. Which would have actually just cut out 10 minutes of travel. It would have literally cut out 10 minutes of travel because I got pretty bad terrain. I had to dig out of this mountain ravine first, which took me a long time. Just digging out probably wasted like a minute. But yeah, I got the Nether portal in 21 minutes. And I got to where that portal, if I built my portal down there, I got to that area in like 31 minutes. Which have literally cut out 10 minutes. Literally cut out 10 minutes of time. Which is just, it's the worst. It's the worst. No, you missed out on sub 30 due to food. Due to food and string was the 2 main reasons why I lost the sub 30. Anyway, I go and get the bushes from over here, sweet berries. Just so I have food. But at this point, I can't even sprint. I'd lost being able to sprint. I throw pearl. Leads me in this kind of direction. Mine's 168, and I start traveling. I make my shears just so I can shear sheep once I find some. And I end up going to this island for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to triangulate with the pearl to see if I was close to the stronghold, and there was also pigs here which I could kill for even more food. Pork is one of the best food sources in the game. It gives a lot of saturation, and it's so much better than sweet berries. I managed to kill 2 of the pigs, and the other ones just jump into the water, and I can't get the cooked meat from them, unfortunately. Still, the raw pork chops are still better than sweet berries, so I don't worry about it too much. And I start to continue exploring the ocean. I'm also a little bit worried at this point because I'm like, what if the stronghold's an underwater stronghold and I just don't get sheep? Because obviously sheep aren't in water. That was a major worry for me at this point, but it didn't matter in the end. It ended up not being underwater. And we were fine. I had enough for 1 bed. And I think the shortest that you can do with beds is 4 beds. So even if I played the dragon fight perfectly, it was still impossible for me at this point. I see the swamp up ahead and I decide to go to it because obviously mobs can spawn a lot in swamps. So I'm like, I can get my sheep here. And that's what I end up doing. I shear a bunch of sheep in a swamp and gather a bit more food. I get up to 21 wool, which is enough to make 7 beds, which is more than enough for me. I can definitely 7-bed a dragon. So, I'm happy with the amount of wool I have now, and I'm able to just concentrate on finding the stronghold. I start pulling up this mountain just to get around it easier, and just start looking, just start the long process of finding the stronghold. I end up throwing a pearl, even, and it starts to go back, so I'm like, okay, so the portal stronghold is closed then, if it started to go backwards. And I'm heading backwards, trying to get out this swamp, just to find stronghold. Throw another eye, and it's still going in this direction. So I throw another, and it heads downwards. Which means that the Stronghold's directly below me right now. I open up chunk boards in a second. I sleep first, yeah. I sleep first. But now I open up my chunk boards and do a trick that's known as digging down on 4-4. Which all it does, it makes you more likely to find a starter staircase easier. And the Stronghold portal room's normally really close to the starting staircase. It's really worth it to find it. I drop into the Stronghold, and this is the starting staircase right here. Which means that the portal is closer here. And I just need to try and find it. I kept going down all the dead ends in the Stronghold until I think it's, yeah. I go through this door, and this one's the actual right way I end up, I think, in the end. Nope, it's not. Yeah, again, I'm in another dead end. One run. I'll have one run where I actually have a good end Stronghold navigation. I'll get lucky with it one day, but I find a Stronghold portal room now, and it's a one eye, which means I made 12 instead of the 11 I needed. It's fine. I still got a ton of pills left over, and I can pearl over to the mainland and get ready for my one cycle. I'm just making my beds. I'm just setting up the north-south one cycle, which is the fastest one cycle that you can do. And I just build up a little bit in a second. And it doesn't actually take that long, I don't think. It takes a minute for it to perch in the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the dragon perches in just a few seconds. Yeah, the dragon goes in for his perch now. I'll leave you with the one cycle. If you have enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.